I'm gonna do this video just a little bit different than my previous ones. It's due to the fact that I'm just so frustrated over the current state of our people. You know, here we go again. Another black man pulled over for a seemingly, what's the word I can use? Tranquil stop. Something that you wouldn't even think could escalate to the point um, of death. You know, it's disappointing, it's sad, and it hurts. You know, when I see people like myself and others that try to guide our people to another direction, away from this type of violence, away from this culture of vulnerability, and we're labeled the bad guys. Why the people that's doing all the killing, you go out of your way to find ways to rationalize or excuse. You see things that ain't even there just to step under their authority because you're too afraid to come from up under the authority of white people. So, like I say, people like myself, you run from, you avoid. I start a conversation with you, and then when you see I may be going a little bit too far in the black direction, you shy away. But whites can kill with no fear of recourse. And you won't see them for the devils that they are. You'll always see something good, some type of hope and faith that you place in these people. And look where it leaves us. They stopped Daunte Wright. All it took was an expired plate, or what initially drew their attention to him, that fact, beside the fact he was black, was that he just had an air freshener hanging on his rearview mirror. And that gave them all the reason in the world. But they don't never stop the stores or the liquor stores or gas station. They never stop them from selling the air fresheners. They only stop the people who purchase them. And it goes from 0 to 10 in no time. We are as vulnerable as kittens. They can come in here, they can stop you for any freaking reason they want. Light out, headlight out, maybe maybe you don't. When they stop you for a tail light, just, you ain't got to stop the guy. Just pull up alongside of them, be like, your tail light out, get that fixed. And just keep it moving. You want to stop, pull over, then you look for a reason to escalate the situation. And it's sad. And no movement that you got, the Black Lives Matter movement is addressing the vulnerability of our people. Like I say, we just as vulnerable as kittens out here. And so I'm watching this the other day, and I know this happened a few days ago. And see, I don't do reactionary or sensationalism videos. When I hear of a story, I heard it just like everybody else did. I'm not running to my computer to do a video to be the first one to get it out there, because I'd rather get the truth out first. I sit back and I wait until I get as much information as I can and try to put it out in a timely fashion so that it's still relevant. So, a lot of people rush to get the story out first. I rush to get the truth out first. And usually the truth comes out a little bit behind the story. You know, like I said, I'm watching this video. I'm watching the press conference, and it was a live stream where the mayor was talking to the people, the police chief was talking to the people, and I had a lot of problems that was going on with this, I guess town hall you want to call it. The mayor was like, "We're going to not only are we going to release the video soon, we're going to release it during this presser." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's different." They released the video, then MSNBC cuts it off, switch back to their studios. Tell my son, we're gonna stop and monitor this video. We're not gonna play it, even though the police chief himself said that we're gonna release this video right now and went directly to the video. MSNBC took it upon themselves to break from the town hall so they can review the video first, then distribute it to the people. I don't need you to blow on my soup for me or whatever, put no butter and syrup on my freaking pan. I can cut my own pancakes. I don't need you to do this. I'm a big boy. The police chief said the video was graphic, so prepare yourself. I prepared myself. And then here MSNBC cutting in. They want to see it first before it goes out. This is why I said you can't trust Fox News. You can't trust MSNBC. You need some type of independent news to keep these guys in check, because ain't no telling what they're doing with this video. But, that being said, when they released it, the police chief come out and said, he come back and was like, well, as you can clearly see, it was an accident. That's based on what? Because the video I just saw, I see a police officer yelling, "Taser, taser, taser," while she's holding a revolver. Aim, point, shoot. And then tell myself, "Oh, I shot him." I mean, that's not the reaction I would think that if I'm holding a taser, the feel of it's different, the weight of it's different, the color of it's different. And when you engage the trigger, the sound is going to be different. So you shoot a pistol thinking it's a taser, and then the first thing come out your mouth is, "Oh, I shot him," like it's no big deal. This woman been on the force 26 years. I'm going I'm going to need chapter and verse. I want you to prove your ignorance. Show me in your record of the 26 years you've been on the force that you displayed a characteristic where you have misplaced or misplaced your weapon. You had problems with identifying the difference between a pistol and a taser. I want to see every accommodation that you've been awarded, every certificate of excellence that you achieved. And I want to question if this woman, after 26 years, is capable of pulling the taser, aiming, not noticing the difference of the color, shooting and killing the person. How does she receive all these awards? How do you stay on the police force 26 years and make a mistake like that? And just because it's a black person, they really don't got to make up an excuse. It's, "Oh, my bad," because we have no alternative. We have nowhere to go. So I guess we fortunate that she even said it was a mistake. This This is beyond ridiculous. You know, here you have the George Floyd trial going on. You got a black veteran being pulled over um, in fear. I can when I saw that, I'm saying to myself, I wonder if he would have displayed this type of fear over in Iraq or Afghanistan. I'm afraid to get out of my vehicle, and you in a foreign land. You ain't afraid to get out in Afghanistan. How you afraid to get out of your vehicle in America? And these are police force, your cousins or brothers in service, and you in fear of getting out your vehicle in your own country when you in war and they shooting and dropping bombs. Do your fellow troops look behind them and be like, "Bruh, we got to go. What you standing in the vehicle for?" No, you jumping out of there. How do you have more fear in America than you do in Afghanistan or Iraq? Make this make sense. And then like I said, then you got Daunte Wright being shot and killed for an air freshener. An air freshener. And anybody can have on their car. You know, don't this country owe blacks anything for all that we do while we're suffering, scared to send our children out into the streets? I can't even tell a child, I'll see you next week and have 100% faith that I'm going to see him next week. We are afforded no comfort, no security at all being a member of this so-called country. None. You know, and in the midst of all this, what are these current black leaders doing? Are they addressing our vulnerabilities, our areas of weakness? What are they doing besides just resetting the pins? Whites come in, knock us down, and they'll come in here, prop us back up, step back to the side, just for the whole thing to take place all over again. What are they actually doing? How are they earning their keep? How are you funding this guy? And I'm talking about Al Sharpton. How do you fund this guy? What is he doing really to protect black people? How is he earning his money? Your trust, your loyalty. Every time this guy show up, everybody want to tune in and hear what he got to say. And it's nothing. The only way we're going to be able to protect ourselves is to build our own businesses and industries. We cannot keep saying we had enough and still channeling all our money right into their stores and industries. We can't keep doing this. Handing our children over to them. Putting everything that's essential in our lives in their hands. What's their motivation to change if there's no other place we can go? That's, if I had the following and the financial support that Al Sharpton had, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. This guy had this organization for 30 years. How have blacks been protected by the National Action Network or any other of these so-called black organizations? Where is our area of strength? These guys support no effort to protect our people. None. I have not heard the word "we can prevent whites from doing this" come out of Al Sharpton's mouth in 30 years. Ever since he started this organization, I have not heard him utter one word about how he can, or we do this, we can stop this from happening to our people. But I'm gonna finish with him before I get through with this video. You know, I'm looking at what's going on with our people, and I'm thinking about episode of Cheaters. Cheaters is a series of couples that just want to check and see what their spouse is doing, if they can really trust them. And it's heartbreaking. You pay a third person to follow around your significant other, and they tell you that they're going to school, they tell you they're going to work, they tell you they're going to the grocery store, the pharmacy, the church, and they follow them to all these different places where they're supposed to be going, and they never go there. And then when they come back with the footage to show where they actually went, but when they remember they said he was going to school, well, this is where he actually went. Or remember when she said she was going to work? This is where she actually went. Remember when they said they was going to the grocery store? Well, this is where they actually went. How much of this video would you need to see? At what point would you say, I've seen enough? I don't need to see no more. Yeah, but we got some more stuff where he said, I don't need to see no more. I've seen enough from this country, from this government, from these well-known, well-funded black organizations. I've seen enough. I don't need to see no more. I don't need to hear no more from these guys to know that it's time for me to go in a different direction. So whatever you got left on that video, just go ahead, delete it, whatever you're going to do. I know what I need to do. We have been betrayed completely in this relationship, and there's no need to give another chance. I can see on occasion you doing something. I can let that go. But when I see it's repeatedly over and over and over again, at some point I just, what, I don't care what happened, what they do beyond this. It's done. Here we put our children in their schools. We're last in education. We send our parents, mothers, and fathers to work to take care of their family. We last in employment. Look at the food, the quality of food that we have to buy, the nutritional value attached to it. The pharmaceutical company, here we are in the midst of a pandemic, and we can't even trust the vaccine to protect us from this coronavirus. How much more uh, do you have to see to start thinking or embracing another alternative? This is, I'm almost speechless, and I'm watching the George Floyd case today. A trial that should have taken just a day or two at the most. This is going into the third week. The third week. And now they're introducing evidence or whatever, saying that it was carbon monoxide that killed George Floyd. And I'm sitting up here like, even if carbon monoxide did kill George Floyd, who held him there? Who held him at the back of that vehicle for 9 minutes? He's in an environment that's outside. How is the carbon monoxide coming from this vehicle killing him and he's outside? Is it possible that if he was capable of getting a full breath, being able to just shift his neck in another direction, is it possible that he could have breathed fresh air, even if he was prone, handcuffed, and held to the ground, waiting for another vehicle to come back up, or even if that all that took place, is it possible he could have been laying there and had just shifted his neck to turn away from the exhaust? Would that have saved his life? What prevented him from shifting his neck? What prevented him from looking in a different direction? Was it not the same officer that sat there for 9 freaking minutes? So, how can you use a defense that the carbon monoxide is what killed George Floyd if the person that's sitting next to you on the defense side of this case is the one that was sitting on his neck, preventing him from turning his head? Who held his head there for freaking 9 minutes? You put anybody's head, whether they had drugs or not, in the face of a exhaust pipe, and it's likely to kill him. So if he didn't die from a heart attack, if he didn't die from this guy sitting on his neck, he died because this guy sat on his neck and held him there right there for 9 freaking minutes. This is, like I said, this is ridiculous. But let me conclude this video with this. Here you have President of the United States in cahoots with big business. They do everything they can to make sure they have tax-free this, tax-free that. And then they come up here, now they want to champion black people. We're going to want to do this for black people. Then on the other side, you got Al Sharpton. This is another two-headed snake. You want to rub elbows and with white politicians, and then at the same time be an advocate for black people. You can only be a slave to one master. You can't sit on your program and celebrate, announce what good white people are by hiring the first black person to do this, or electing the first black person to this position. Then turn around, talk about what other white people are doing. Being killed by another white cop. How do you dance back and forth? The Bible says you can't get bitter and sweet water from the same stream. How do I know that? And Al Sharpton don't know that. He's the reverend. I'm nowhere near a reverend. How do you look to the same people who's been responsible for all of our disadvantages in this country? They own and control all of them. And then tell them that you're going to get bitter and sweet behavior from them. You're going to get one or the other. All these people that's following Al Sharpton, all these people that join a movement, they're looking for leadership. They're looking for guidance. Is the path that we're on, is it leading us to prosperity, profitability, peace, and tranquility? We're going to have to ask this guy to pick a side. Either you're going to be an advocate announcing that these white devils are the ones that's causing all our affliction? Or you're going to be an advocate for our people, directing us in a way that they cannot economically or socially impact us? You're going to have to choose. And your track record already told me what side you're going to choose. You want to be a leader of both. We don't need no two-headed spokesman. We need one leader to lead us in a positive direction, and Al Sharpton, you are not it. And it's time for the people that follow you to realize that. So I'm going to end this video here. And if you appreciate this message, like and share it. If you like the content, hopefully subscribe to the channel. And with this video, as with all of my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'm going to see you in my next message. Ashe.